Welcome back to the world's okayest mountain bike podcast. I, your host, have a little extra growl or bass in my voice because it's recovering from a couple days of yelling and screaming at church camp. So that was a little rough. But I, Clint, am also now a champion, which I will let Kyle and Ryan praise me about. We also have a guest with us tonight for this podcast who's going to talk a little bit about what it takes to be a local race promoter or organizer, which is something we know nothing about. We go and pay our entry fee most of the time and consume, and we really don't know a whole lot about what goes on behind the scenes, or at least I don't. But Kyle, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Ryan, and then our guest Nathan we'll let you introduce him. But would you like to praise me? You are in the presence of a champion.
Clint, are you the Sketchyville 2023 champion?
I am. All hail. I am the Sketchyville Stopwatch Series downhill champion.
All hail King Clint.
So
wait, I thought I saw in the results some 16-year-old beat you.
No.
Let's clear.
Hold on. He was 15. His mom had to drive him there.
First of all, his dad took him there. Let's get that out of the way. I'm pretty sure he's 16. Second of all, said guy, and I'm not trying to blame him out, signed up for the Groms class, even though he very well could compete with any of us. And all they raced, well, not all they raced, but they raced trolley track at least twice a race the whole time. I was operating on about 5 hours of sleep over the last 2 nights combined from church camp. Showed up, got on the bike, did 2 stages, and then trolley. He beat me by 7 seconds over, what was I, 4:14? He was 4:07. He's a very good, very fast rider, and he has beat me in the past at other places. So fair play, but I don't understand why everybody's always got to pick on me. It's going to give me a complex, because even though I won the main class, all that ever got posted, or not all, but is just how Clint got beat by a teenager. And I'm just tired of being picked on, okay? Can't you just have a win?
Is that why you're selling your bike? Because you got beat on it?
That's why I'm selling that enduro.
That's it, man. Hanging it up. He's an endurance athlete only now.
Yep. Henry retired me from enduro. He retired me. I'm out. But yes, I am selling the enduro, and it might be for another podcast, but there's reasons. It's a great bike. Like, honestly, I have no issue with it.
Arguably the best.
It arguably could be, but I'm thinking I should probably, because of some other stuff that I got cooking, I should probably sell it while it is in pristine condition. So, okay, the wheels, I will admit, are not pristine, but everything else is. Like, that is the least crashed bike I've ever had. It has exactly 1 crash on it, which was barely a crash at all. All right. So, Ryan, what's new with you?
Man, I mean, I can't top that. I definitely can't claim a king over the Groms.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Clint, you were the second fastest kid there.
Yeah. Hey, if it helps, Clint, you're just a big kid.
I don't know if it helps or not.
I don't know what's been up with me. Just riding, trying to be somebody, I guess, for BT. I got to beat you. So,
Ryan, what was the last race you raced?
I did lead belt.
And you did. Remind me. You didn't do marathon? What'd you end up doing?
I did Cat 2.
Cat 2.
And I don't know if we're doing race recaps, but I'll give a quick race recap. The leaders take off hard off the start, and I was not ready for that. So I'll just leave it at that. The results were not good. They took off, and I was not ready for their pace off the start.
And not that I want to take the target off me, but everyone at Lead Belt got beat by a 18-year-old. Just saying. At least Cat won.
Oh, yeah.
No, let's be it. No, that kid would have crushed anywhere, man. He was cooking.
But I beat him at
I think
Shepherd
that's true, the kid
the last
there.
2 times he was there. I'm just saying. Okay, that's dumb. I'm joking, everybody. All right, we have a guest here. I guess I should be more respectful of his time. So we're gonna introduce him. We've got Nathan Goff on here, and Nathan, why don't you just tell us why you're here on the podcast?
I've been promoting the Indian Camp Creek Challenge for the past 10 or 11 years. And this coming weekend is the race. It should be a great weekend. A lot of people come out. Go ahead.
So Nathan, what's the date for the event?
It's this Sunday, the 13th, August 13th.
And what categories are open for racing for this? So we have Cat 1, Cat 2, 3, marathon, I assume, right?
Yes.
Anything else?
We also have for you enduro riders. We do have a big hitters division. That is a cash paying division. So we have that. We also have juniors. We've got 50 juniors, which are 18 and under, that will be riding in the juniors class. That doesn't mean that there's not 18-year-olds riding in Cat 1, 2, 3 marathon, but there are 50 juniors riding in their own class. That's going to be one lap. Then we got a kids race that Wheels Up is going to be putting on for the kids, like 9 and under. Just let them ride around and have fun.
And Nathan, does the kids race cost anything?
Kids race is free. Bring them out. And
kids race
it's
is
daycare.
free.
It's daycare. Just drop your kid off. They'll be there when you get done racing.
What a setup,
all right,
Kyle.
Done. Sold.
Kyle's so slick with the segues. Oh, and how much does the kids race cost, Nathan?
I got this, man. I told you I had a plan, y'all.
If it's free, Kyle's in.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys know me. So Nathan, so I'll ask a quick history question too. So Nathan, I caught that you said you've been promoting the ICC challenge for about 10 to 12 years. Has it always been the ICC challenge, or where did that race originate?
Well, no. Grant Boschert and I took this over from Greg Ott and Mitch Johnson. It was the Bromelsek challenge. So the race started at Bromelsek, and for the past, this will be the 5th year, maybe 6th year. We'll say 5th year at the ICC, Indian Camp Creek, which is out. It's out in Troy, right at the line of St. Charles County, but it's out in Troy area.
Yeah, I think that the address says Forestel, which sounds like it's really far out there. But let's be honest, guys, it's like 8 minutes north of Wentzville. It's not that far, right?
Yeah. So it started out at Bromelsek and Bromelsek, and then we moved it to Indian Camp Creek Challenge, Indian Camp Creek.
Yeah, I remember that. So I think my first cross country race as an adult, I would say, was the Bromelsek Challenge, if I remember correctly. I read my hardtail single speed there.
Okay, well, so here's what I want to know, and is one sort of, what was it like? Like, how did you decide, or when did when you took it over, however that went down, like, what were the things like you immediately had to learn? Because what I really want to know is, like, if someone gets an idea to put on a race, and in this case it's cross country, sort of like, I know that you have to learn some things on the job, but sort of what's the process there? You know, what were the things you kind of had to figure out on the fly, and what are the things that were sort of handed to you?
Oh man. So Greg gave us a spreadsheet of, here's what you do, here's how you do it, here's what you need. He made it really easy, although there's still a lot that you had to learn. I mean, there's insurance and permits and, just volunteers. I mean, everyone says they're going to help. And then when you say, hey, I need it, oh, I got something else to do. So volunteers are a hard part. I've been doing it so long with St. Charles County Parks that they I don't want to say they give me free reign, but they're like, hey, we know you treat the parks well. You put on a good show. Let us know what we can do for you. And the park managers are awesome to work with at both parks. What can I mow for you? Do I need to clean the trail up? Is there a down tree? I mean, it's the parks are really easy to work with.
Yeah, it's a neat partnership I've kind of seen you guys have over there. It seems like they're definitely on board with this event specifically too. So here's my question to you. As you've taken it on and grown it and changed it, what is something that you have changed about the event over the past, say, 10 years that you've been hosting it? What is something new that you did that makes this event unique or exciting, or that's something that you're proud of that you've introduced?
Man, well, I mean, the kids race, we've always had a pretty good kids race there for a handful of years. Nathan Lafferty put it on with obstacles that the St. Charles County Parks had. Again, I mean, it's almost kind of like daycare built into your race. It allows all the adults to race and their kids can hang out while that's happening. I have to admit, it's almost a competition between the promoters. You go to a race, and if you register and you race and you leave, well, not that the race isn't fun, but there needs to be a little something else. Bob Arnold with Greensfelder always has a great barbecue, and that's a donation to Gork, which is great. But there's a lot of Mark Grumke. You guys brought up Lead Belt. He puts on a good show down there. First Form really helps him out. He's got a lot of giveaways and whatnot. So if you come in Sunday, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of them. It's a great not-for-profit, but they give a lot of donations to veteran organizations, but it's called Vets Rolling Smoke Barbecue. These are professional pitmasters. We'll be there Sunday, and if they're going to have pulled pork, chicken, some pulled pork nachos, I think brats and hot dogs and whatnot, but they do everything for donation. So if you feel that pulled pork sandwich is worth $1, hand them $1, they're going to give you a pulled pork sandwich. If you think it's worth $10-20, that's what you give them. It's all going to a donation, which is a great deal. We've got Traveling Tom's Coffee, Show Me Donuts, which is
what now?
Donuts. So if you are a paid racer, you will get a free order of donuts from Show Me Donuts. If you like them enough and you want to buy a second order, by all means, you can. Traveling Tom's Coffee will be there for a couple hours, having coffee for purchase. So I guess, and again, we started this, and Grant, everyone has a different season in life, and he kind of went another way. He was actually the one that got Bromlesick Challenge. He approached me, hey, are you interested in doing this? And we did it for a long time as Extreme Electrical Contracting, which is a company I co-own, but that was the presenting sponsor and whatnot. So this year it's a Granada Cyclery, but Grant really got it going, and we started getting all these food trucks and getting a whole bunch of stuff, different things going. So it's been fun. That's what I enjoy to do. And I'm not going to lie, every year on race day, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And the day after race day, I'm already planning for the next year. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cut you off real quick and throw a shameless plug in there. Extreme Electrical Contractors is important because we like plugging people we like and companies that we use. Nathan will do commercial, big builds, full projects. Nathan will do residential, and his company's fantastic, professional, timely, clean, everything. I've had a wonderful experience with Nathan over the past 8 or 9 years since I've been using you guys. So please reach out to Nathan on that if you have any projects, large commercial projects, fresh builds, anything. Nathan's the guy, and his company does, and his team does an absolutely fantastic job.
Thank you.
I want to mention, just watching this race evolve too from the early Bromlesick days, and I think I even remember when when Grant and yourself took it over, but it's been really cool because I think one of the best parts that, and I love the Greensfelder race. That's one I try and hit every year, and I try and hit lead belt. But I think what I love about your races is just the event itself. It's not just a race. There's stuff for the kids. Like you said, you got you always have a nice food truck, whatever that is. It's always a good event. Like it's one of those, like I want my family to come and hang out as well. So big kudos to Nathan and all the guys that help him and help the volunteers that he gets to help put it on, and particularly the parks department, because I have seen that relationship, and it is amazing that Nathan can go, hey, I need this trail cleared or whatever, and they're on it, and they really enjoy working with Nathan on that. The second thing I wanted to mention is how much he's grown the what I would say, not just the kids, but the juniors category. And part of that's NICA, and NICA does one of their races out there at ICC, but he really promotes getting those kids out. And even before NICA was even an organization that promoted middle school and high school cycling that we've talked about many times on this podcast, Nathan was promoting that and getting kids out on the trails, and not just because his own kids, but he just wanted to see the sport grow through the youth. So big kudos to him, because he gets a huge turnout of juniors at this race, and the other promoters do, but nothing like Nathan's race, and I think that's awesome.
No, absolutely. And you guys have listened to me and, kind of seen the events and stuff that I've been doing. But I mean, I'm super big on kids on bikes, man. Like I believe that every kid should grow up in 1994, and there is nothing better to do than all year than ride your bike with your friends. And I really hope that every kid gets the experience to do that. Nathan was pretty pivotal too in the NICA in bringing that to St. Charles County and bringing that in. And he's had kids and juniors and riding in his forefront, before and during this entire race. And I love that. So I love seeing that. I didn't actually know that I could completely neglect my child the whole time I'm racing and assume that he's being taken care of by somebody more responsible than me. So that sounds fantastic. I can't wait to drop Connor off and let him ride 30 miles while I race and diet racing 26.
All right. So let's back up just a hair here. And Nathan, I want you to, at this point, not just specifically ICC, but I want to back up to this, let's say there's some aspiring race promoter out there, presumably not in the St. Louis area, not going to add any more competition, but just aspiring race promoter that's thinking about it. So you get this spreadsheet back when you take this over. What sorts of things are on there? Were there things on there that seemed daunting, things that seemed easy? Like, what does it take to even get the first steps going?
Again, man, we were kind of handed a race. Go back to what Ryan was saying about it growing. So Grant and I were handed a race that brought in 80 plus or minus racers. Last year I had 350 paid racers. So the daunting is making an event that everyone enjoys to come to and they want to come back. And it has to do with, you guys we're on Granada Cyclery, or when I was Extreme Electrical Racing, had a team, I was Extreme Electrical Racing. And Ryan, you remember that? I really, all it is being a good person. If you're on the trail and you got to represent who's on your kit, I just try to be a good person out there at the races, and that brings more people in. Like, hey, I want to come to that race because the race promoter's good. I don't know. I attempt to be someone that, I don't know. I'm not good for radio here.
Yeah.
People want to be around you.
True. Well,
it is. It's real though, because I can speak to that because we we all saw, a changing of the guard, especially in St. Charles County here, going on of almost 9 months ago when Momentum Cycles, chose to, chose to hang it up and, and get out of the business. And so that left a pretty gaping hole, and I honestly, after much consideration and opportunity for myself, I mean, I asked Nathan, hey, what's been your experience in Granada? What's been, your relationship over there? And then, because one of the big things I told Nathan was, hey, I'd love to continue to work with you. I'd hate to end up somewhere where we are at opposite ends or we're doing different things. I wanted to continue to do that. So, I mean, one of my big things for asking to be a part of that team over there and kind of keep moving, the direction that I'm going has just been Nathan's relationship and experience over there. So, I mean, it's absolutely true. I mean, Nathan, the way you carry yourself as a promoter, as a person and a friend, I value you, and I think a lot of the cycling community probably does too.
Thank you.
All right.
But I guess to go back to your question, Clint, I mean, the daunting, there are so many aspects of it. I mean, again, it's just the race. I mean, it's as simple as, okay, I got to get the bike reg page up. I have to get everything in. All the classes have to be right. I am far from an English major, so everything that's on there, my wife's reading over 10 times to make sure it's spelled right and all the punctuation. That's the little stuff. And then it is the sponsors. And, I've got Heartland Coca-Cola donating. I think I got 40 cases of Coke. They've donated that. I've got Good News Brewery, Dan Tripp, he's donating beer. I mean, it's all free. You want to come out and race? There's free. I mean, it's just, and it is setting the course. There'll be Friday, Saturday. I'll be out setting the course, and actually I'll be out there earlier Saturday than normal because there's a night ride that the parks are putting on, and Roy Doskell and Gork. Actually, Roy Doskell and Gork are hosting a night ride. There's going to be food and beverages and everything out there. Yeah, everyone needs to go out there Saturday night, the 12th. There'll be a night ride. The course will be set up. You'll get a pre-ride. So it'll be a good time. I mean, it's a lot of little things. You have to be completed to make up the one big event.
Well, I know you've got, so, we talked about your vendors. We talked about you setting the course, the bike reg stuff. You mentioned earlier the parks people being willing to, go out and make sure it's, there's not weeds overgrowing everywhere and trees down. But you mentioned volunteers at the beginning. It's like, what roles, like how many volunteers do you need? And like, what are all these positions that maybe, I guess super experienced racers would have an idea, but, what are all the volunteer positions you need to help pull this off? And about how many people do you have doing that?
Well, so every park is a little different. This particular park, we will be crossing the road in three areas where there are still vehicles able to drive on the road. So I've got 3 areas that I need to have someone standing at the road to make sure the cars are stopping, because one of them is a blind crossing. I mean, you're going to be flying through there, and so I need someone there to stop cars. Registration. I mean, as you're coming up, registering, getting your number plate. I mean, I've got 2 or 3 people helping there. My wife Mandy does a ton with that. Andy Schulte is taking care of the timing, so chip timing, and just, I mean, the podiums, making sure it's really getting it set up, getting the course set up, taking the course down after the race is done. I've got to take everything down. I got to, this year I'm doing something different I've never done before. I'm going to have a roaming or a roving, however you say that, marshal. So there is going to be an individual that's going to be riding the trail at all times. In the years past, if you would call me and say, hey, the tape is down by the river, I would have to go find where the tape's down and go put that tape up. Well, this individual is going to be riding around the whole time, and I'll be able just to say, hey, tape's down by the river, go fix it. So that's going to be nice.
Well, I was wondering, does it, how much of a small army does it take? I'm sure the registration part, when you have 350 people standing in line to get their stuff, that's a lot of work. I did not realize it was that big. I really didn't. That would make it, as far as I know, other than like the BT Epic, one of the biggest races, at least in this region. It has to be, I would assume.
Yeah.
Nathan, I think Nathan set the record last year. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah. We had, and actually racers like that's paid racers. I mean, I know you go to races and the paid racers was like 350, and I want to say there was 290 something actual racers that showed up and raced. So
yeah,
last year. So yeah.
And Nathan, thinking about registration, I know they can go online and register, but maybe explain how that helps speed up the process if people, instead of registering day of.
Well, first off, if you register before race day, it's cheaper. It's going to be more expensive if you show up on race day. But if you need to show up on race day and sign up, please bring cash. That's all we're going to be taking. It also makes it easy if you sign up the day or prior to race day. If all you have to do is walk up and tell them your name and we hand you a number plate, it's a streamline. The process is easy, but if you have to sit there and fill out a waiver and fill out all your information and pay, it doesn't go as quick. And also, if you sign up prior to race day, one male and one female will have the chance to walk away with a Thule race day bag for free. Just name will be put in a hat as long as you sign up before race day. One male, one female will get a bag, which is pretty nice. I know I have one, and I use it all the time.
You sold me on it, man. I got one too. It is so nice.
Yeah. Yep. So it's streamlined. Sign up before race day. Go into Bike Reg, look up 2023 ICC Challenge, and get signed up. You got till Friday night at midnight.
And that's bikereg.com.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yep. All right, Nathan. So, Ryan and Kyle, and I've actually ridden bikes with Nathan before too. So yeah, he's fine. Like, we got along just fine. But let's see if you really fit in here on this podcast, because earlier I was like, we're going to change subjects a little. It's going to be more about just, seeing where you fall in the world of right and wrong. I mentioned that Ryan and I had a debate. We were going to have it out on here, and I think I'll bring you in for it too, and just to see who's right and who's wrong. But the debate at hand was when it comes to Strava KOMs, do they count on a cross-country area trail, which is really all of the trails in Missouri other than what's at Shepherd Mountain, or I guess like Howler. Maybe Eureka Bike Park would probably count as not cross-country. The question is, if you get a KOM on a segment, does it count if you didn't do the whole loop, or like a full, I don't know, all the miles in the trail system ride, but you went and got a KOM on a day where maybe you didn't ride as far?
So
wow.
let me preface
Go ahead.
this.
Let him wait, Ryan. Don't
Go ahead and answer.
Don't poison the well. Just let him give it.
Well, I would be lying if I told you I have never gone KOM hunting, meaning, hey, I'm going to go ride down the road here. Right. Now, would you get more street cred if it was at the end of a 30-mile ride? Yes.
Of course.
But
it's your name's still on there.
Name's still on there, and it's not like there's an asterisk saying, by the way, he only rode 1 mile before the KOM and then he didn't ride anything after that. There's not an asterisk there. So I see what you're saying. But
It's a
in
segment.
all honesty,
It's a
and
segment. There are segments that are the whole loop, right?
No,
Yes,
no.
yes,
Listen. You're talking. I'm a guy that literally avoided using Strava because I heard one too many riders yell Strava while coming down a trail, and I thought there's no way I'm ever using that dumb app. Those guys are a bunch of idiots. And however, that's how the game is played, and there's segments. Like the segment is the segment. If you walk there and then hammer that segment 30 times until you get what your high score, it still counts. That's what the game is. It's literally how the game works.
Okay, Ryan, your turn. Go ahead, Ryan.
So, all right. So, Clinton, you said, so regarding lead belt, as you come into the finish, Nathan, all right?
It's a new finish. This year was different. You know.
Remember,
Well, you were there, but
you go through
Yeah.
the gate. There's like that gate you go through, and then it's basically just you go down long straight, and you go down that gravelly hill, and you make the
Yeah.
right. You come down into the finish line, and it's pretty fun downhill.
that is a fun downhill.
Clinton says, "I'm just gonna go park at that gate and then go hit the KOM."
no, I parked at the bottom by the lake. I went and I climbed up the course that I never ridden before. No, I climbed up. No, I climbed up the finish backwards so
You
I could
said you were
see it.
You were gonna go up it backwards and then hit the KOM.
And then I turned around and bombed down and made the segment and did not get the KOM. Cade Pummel, who won Cat 1, actually still has the KOM. So he was ripping. Now, then after that, I went up the beginning of the course to the top of the hill and then came down that section backwards and got that KOM. Which there's like 50 people that have times on that as well, which I'd never ridden that either. So yes, I did go KOM hunting, and I actually failed at one of them. I'm only like third. Or I might be tied for second or third or something, but I didn't even get it. The guy that got it at the end of the race when he had two guys breathing down his neck and pushing him all the way to the finish. So,
It's good debate. Whatever.
Well, Clint, maybe if you come out and race, you'll get that KOM with two guys on your back, breathing down your neck.
I don't think I quite have the legs. I don't think I have the legs for that to get it at the end of the race. I would like to come. My cross country bike is gone, so I still have my big bike.
Big hitters class.
What time does big hitters start? I don't know if I'm also, I don't know if all of our listeners know this. I'm also, apart from my normal job, financial advising, I'm the associate pastor of a church, so it's tough to get away too many Sundays. It's not that I can't ever go race, but I'd already been gone like some extra ones this summer already, so I don't know if it's going to work for this particular one.
9:15 a.m.
Okay.
And they do call it Dirt Church.
Yeah, so I need to be like, can I come preach a sermon at the beginning of the race so I can?
You can preach. I'll listen.
If you want to, I mean, I hate to do it because I'm at church most every Sunday, and I hate missing as well. But unfortunately, that's just man. The UFD races are just on Sundays, and I don't know. But if you know what, let's schedule that. If you could do it this coming week, that'd be great. Maybe next year we'll schedule that. I got no issue with that.
Oh my gosh, that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
there you go. And we'll have Kyle play the guitar or bass or whatever he plays, and Ryan will sing.
Yeah, I'll sing.
Yeah, I'll knock out a real solid Kumbaya for everybody.
Okay.
Is that what they sing at your church, Kyle?
No, that's the only song I know.
Okay.
So,
but anyway, my opinion of you, although it was already very high, has gone even higher because you are on the side of the Angels when it comes to this KOM debate. I just want to make sure everybody knew. It's 3 against 1. 3 against 1 against Ryan.
Listen, Ryan. Ryan's right. Let's be real. Ryan's right. I don't like it, but the game is played and a game has rules. The rule is the segment. So some segments are long. Like there's I'm trying to remember what ride I did the other day, but I did a ride the other day, and the segment there was a segment for the entire lap, right? So if you want the entire lap segment, then you go hammer the entire lap. If you want one section of it, then you just go hike to the top of that thing, get yourself well and rested, and then hammer for it. I don't play the game. It's just a game I don't play because I don't care. I've got like 2 top 10s in the entire world, and what? No, yeah. Listen, yeah, right. So I have a KOM on a mountain bike at the BMX track, and then I have a KOM for actually running and hiking out at Lewis and Clark. But that's it. But I don't care. Like that's not a game I play. It feels so good. You know what though? But it was like that dopamine hit that I was like, I don't need this in my life. I'm not fast enough to care.
This is our version of this is our like validation. Like girls on Instagram want all the comments, and we want a KOM. Like that's it's just all.
I had fun. I forget what it was. It must have been last year, but last year I forget what it was. But there was a couple trails that were opening and that were fresh, and like I was able to go out and ride some stuff that like not a lot of people have ridden, and I did end up with like top 10s and top 3s, and then like 1 or 2 KOMs that I'm sure we're gonna get beat shortly after that. But like it felt cool. But I don't know. The level of disappointment I'd feel in myself, like if I tried to chase that constantly, it's just not worth it. I don't care.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying about not. There's a ton of rides I do. I don't even post just because, but I do find that disappointment.
We know why, Nathan. It's because it's dead center in the middle of a work day, and you don't want anybody to know you're out there.
I know.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
We know that's out on the trail at 4:30. Let's be real.
Yeah.
No, Nathan's got 40 miles in before my alarm goes off in the morning. Nathan's already been done, showered, cleaned up, bike prepped. Like he's already done. He's already done a 40-mile half-century ride or whatever. And before my alarm even goes up to start looking at my email. Oh, dude, I'm not a morning person, and Nathan I think only sleeps 4 hours a night.
And well, back to Kyle. I mean, there are segments. You're talking about the whole KOM hunting and this and that. I mean, whatever segment it is, and like you're just flying and you really feel good, and then all of a sudden you pull that up and you're like, man, I'm like 300 still out of 6,000 people. I mean, sometimes that is pretty disappointing.
Well, and the thing is too, is like and I haven't gone segment hunting because I don't have the patience to like stare at my phone and figure out where the segment is, go to that section of trail. Like there's a couple easy segments, so like Bluffview, right? Like the flow trail, like there's an easy segment there. What's frustrating to me, and I don't even know how it's possible, is that I'll go out there and hammer a heater as hard as I can go. And I forget what that lap is, but what is it, 117 or something like that, like 113? It's not much. It's like just a hair over a minute. And then I'll stop, and after my ride, and I'll look at my segments, and somehow somebody's in the low 40s. There is no way anybody is 30 full seconds faster than me riding the same trail that I rode, period. There just isn't. Like, I'm not that fast, but not that segment. They're like, I am fast enough on that segment. There is not 30 seconds to shave off of my time. Something happened. There was a glitch in the system, and like there's a couple of guys or whatever, because they're not even. It's not even like our local guys. It's not even guys that like go out there and like you expect to see Jarrett and Barbie and those guys up there in the top 10. It's not even those guys. It's like other people, and it's like that doesn't.
It happens,
And just some places, yes. No. There's a lot of places. There's plenty of people that are 30 seconds faster than me on. But like on a minute 17, me hammer festing, there's not 30 seconds to shave off my time at the Bluffview Flow Trail. Period. There just isn't. There's no way somebody's cutting my ride in half, doubling my mile an hour.
And just to stir the pot, the guy that's got the KOM, he did that without a dropper.
Oh,
I was about to ask.
All right, next rite of passage, Nathan. Are you team dropper or team no dropper?
As of 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half, I am team dropper. I put a dropper back on the bike.
Good man.
Atta girl.
This guy rode powder keg with me with no dropper.
I think we could get Keg Pummel's time down if he had a dropper.
Did he not have one? He's a He's an enduro guy. He got into cross country after he was already an enduro kid.
I don't know.
But yeah, Nathan, I'm surprised it took you that long because Nathan and I rode at Shepherd one morning. This was back, gosh, I don't even know what bike I was on. Was I still on the Slash? Maybe,
Yeah,
I don't know.
So. Yeah.
And we get up there. I'm like, well, what do you want to ride? And he wanted to ride Powder Keg. And I'm like, you got a multi-tool? But the post was so long, I don't know if we got it down just like a few inches, but it was still pretty high up there. And he was on a Trek Top Fuel. Sending on down, like, no problem.
Hey, I'm sure I could have gone a lot faster, but I had a good time. It was fun.
It was a good time.
So,
I mean, that was more. I was terrible. I was way out of shape. I mean, I still am, but he had to stop multiple times on the climb to wait for me. So I'm lugging up behind him, trying to keep up, and then right on down that trail, and it is not a trail I'd want to be high posting on.
See, that's the thing is, I don't even think it's a matter of speed. Like, let's be honest. Like, when we're talking about in the term of a 30-mile or plus cross country race, you make up minutes on the climb and just seconds on the descent, and some of those seconds are good enough to get a pass. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've ever passed anybody on a climb, but I've definitely passed people on descents. But the big thing about a dropper is just sheer safety. You know what I mean? It's sheer safety, body position, and the ability to survive a section. I mean, the dropper is there. I don't even know if it adds much for speed, but man, it makes the survivability of sections so much better and fun. Let's not forget, guys, we're doing this for fun.
Yeah, we've beaten that dead horse.
Let's be honest. My 6-year-old kid has a dropper on 2 different bikes at this point. Everybody needs a dropper.
All right. I don't know what the other thing was. Kyle and I were going to get into it over, but we might have to save that for another podcast. We're at a good 42 minutes of recording time. Nathan, so before we go, I want you to tell me your favorite thing about promoting or putting on a race and your least favorite thing.
Man, honestly, the favorite part of promoting the race it's race day. It's seeing everyone out there having a good time, the camaraderie. I mean, I have friends, you have friends that you only see at races. That's it. You only see them at races and everyone's together. They're having a good time. That's my favorite part of it. The worst part's cleaning up. It's a long day. You're tired. And I've got help, but you're still loading the trailer up and having to pick trash up and get someone to go take all the tape down. So it's cleaning up. It takes a day or two to get everything put back where it's supposed to be. So the best and the worst is all on one day.
And then, so the big question is when do we start promoting ICC Challenge 2024?
Man,
is that Monday the 17th?
Yeah, you can definitely start promoting it. I'm going to work on a date. There's something that I'll do a teaser. I've got a race I'm going to do next year that is basically the same week as the ICC Challenge normally. So I'm going to have to alter the date next year, but we're going to figure that out.
Awesome.
Okay. Well,
looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on. I think we're about to wrap it up here. So I'll be honest, boys, what we really all need to do is quit our jobs so we can record podcasts in the middle of the day before I get tired. So I have to pull through, but we'll sort that out later.
Nathan's got to be awake for a 40-mile ride in 4 hours.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm leaving my house tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. I will be meeting a guy on the Katy Trail somewhere wherever it is we meet. I think we'll probably hit 30 or 40 miles. And I just did the Monday night road ride before I sat down here. So yeah, I'll
cranking some pedals, man.
Nathan's also a pretty good racer. So.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we don't. We're not making.
I'm really
I'm
not.
Put it this way, Ryan. I'm not going to make any bets with him about my BT Epic finish.
I'm a mid packer, but I think you guys have a good competition going. That's fun to have competition for the BT.
Yeah, it's fun to have some storylines, some races within the race.
Yeah.
Hey,
I would
Ryan,
encourage
speaking of which,
anybody to do, if you're doing a big race like that, put little goals with your buddies in there, and do it, like do a spread. If there's no way you're on their level, well then don't say I'm gonna beat you. Just be like, okay, like I'm gonna be within 30 minutes of you or whatever. It does make it. I mean,
Makes it
no,
fun.
you're missing the
did
best
it
part.
make
You got
it
to talk.
fun though, or did it make it super duper extra miserable? Because those last 10 miles last year were just, I don't know if fun would be the right word, because it was literally as hard as I could, like literally as hard as my body would allow me to ride, to all the way to the end.
No, talking trash with your friends is always more fun.
That's a good point.
It's the only reason I'm doing the BT Epic this year is because
We
you
did
idiots
sort of
talked me
bully
into
you
it.
guys. Yeah, we kind of bullied you into that one.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you can't do 20-mile road rides and cut out early anymore if you want to finish BT Epic.
Oh, dude, it was not even a matter of energy for me. It was a matter of getting back to help with the kids, kind of thing.
And then you're bragging at 18 mile an hour. Come on.
Oh man,
Killing me.
fastest road ride of my life.
Hey, and anyone listening, you want to buy Kyle's bikes because they all have about 10 miles on them whenever he sells them.
For real.
Yeah.
I have been trying. He's always buying the wrong size, Nathan, because of his freakishly long arms.
Yeah.
And it's always, I'm just like, Kyle, could you just buy the bike I want? and I'll buy it from you the next year. Like,
well, there's no
still
lie there.
have not been
The
able
guys
to make this happen.
There's no lie there. The guys that buy my bikes get a real treat. Besides the fact that they're maintained consistently and stored in an air-conditioned basement, they only get rid of about 200 miles before I sell them. Although this is the heaviest riding season of my riding career, where I'm riding for the first time ever with intention. Like every other year of my riding career, I would only ride when I could conveniently find a friend to ride with. And so if I couldn't find a friend to ride with, I just wouldn't ride. And so now I'm doing solo rides. I'm doing group rides. Honestly, I think the group rides are helping me as much as anything for race day. Like I just have no idea how to ride in a group. I have no idea how to do any of that stuff, at least in any way that manages competition. And so doing group gravel rides, doing group road rides. I would like to be back in the trails, but let's be honest, guys, it's rained for the past 36 weeks straight. Ain't nothing dry. So
except Shepherd. Shepherd was perfect. Like it was not even remotely muddy. I could not believe it.
Well, there's no dirt there.
It's all
just rock.
Clint, there's not much.
It was perfect. It was great. It was some of the best it's ever been. Just saying, people missed out.
Well, hey, let's get some final words on the race from Nathan. Tell us what all people need to do and when they need to be there and all that. And
man, I don't know. Just sign up. Go to Bike Reg, which is BIKEREG.com. Look up 2023 ICC Challenge. The juniors this year will be taking off at 8:30, so that's about a half an hour before anyone else leaves, so that we can hopefully give them enough time to get back to the start for their one lap before they get lapped and overrun. So looking out for the kids. All the adult classes most of them start at 9, and then if you're Cat 1 and Cat 2, you do not need to. Your starts at 11 a.m. So,
and then is it a 8.5 mile loop or what is it?
It's right at 8 mile loop.
Okay.
It's a pretty true 8 mile loop, and you're going to get everything from going through the field. You're starting off in a field, and that's kind of just to separate everyone before they go into single track. But once you get into single track, you're going down through the cedars, which is really cool. Got some few punchy hills, There's a pretty fast downhill section in there, and that's just perfect single track. Got the flats by the river, which are fun. They're always fast.
It is a variety of trail. Like I like it. There's not any monster climbs. There's not any monster descents. There's nothing technical out there. It is a great cross country race trail.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually this year, the flats by the river, I believe, I'm going to say 911 because I can't, the fire department wanted the ability to get in there easier. So they've actually widened the trails. So, I mean, there are going to be some fast trails and some good passing in there. So it'll be a lot of fun.
And then we're riding it counterclockwise this year, right?
Counterclockwise, yes.
Awesome. So for everybody that if you've ever been to any one of my family rides, so we do a family ride first Tuesday of every month. That's the way we ride it when we ride the flat section. So we do 5 miles. 5 miles of riding ends up being about 4 miles of the race loop we do in the direction that we're racing this year. So for anybody that's familiar, that's what we're going to be doing this weekend.
And bring cash.
Bring cash. If you were going to sign up on race day, bring cash. And then you need money for Vets Roll and Smoke Barbecue. They're going to be feeding you for a donation. There'll be coffee there from 8 to 10. There'll be donuts there as long as people are purchasing them. Then again, if you are a paid racer, you're going to get an order of donuts. There'll be free soda and free beer as long as you're of age. So while supplies last.
That sounds awesome. And don't forget Saturday night pre-ride. Is that right? Saturday?
Yep. Roy
So
Doskell.
Saturday night pre-ride, night ride. And so, Roy Doskell is setting that up with Gork. That's going to be a fun time. I probably won't get a full lap. I'm just going to show up. Roy asked me for my t-shirt sizes, so I got to show up and see the event and say hey and hang out and strap a light to my kids' bikes and let them go for a little rip. And then I'll probably call it good, get a look at everything, and then be there in the morning.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we need to call it. Kyle and I will have a podcast coming up here real soon about some bike build projects. He's got to get me some parts because I am currently lacking a short travel bike. And it's really going to put a damper on my BT training if I don't get that back soon. So keep an eye out for that. Get out to the race.
One more thing. Can I self-promote a little bit?
Sure.
So if you're listening and you have kids, find my event on Facebook. We do a kids family ride the first Tuesday of every month. We meet at ICC. We do 5 miles, and this is ages pedal bike through pretty much 14, depending on skill level. It is an entry level ride. So if you've got a kid that's a total ripper, he's going to be bored. If you're a total ripper, you're going to be bored, but that's okay. We bring the kids out. Ryan's been out to it. This is a great wives, girlfriends ride. Casual, easy, not technical. It's a little swampy in the woods some nights, but it's a no drop ride. We stop every mile. There's a bailout every mile. And then so if the kid's having a fit, you can take them out back to the car. And then we'll do 4 miles of single track. We'll play at a playground for about 15 minutes, and then we'll go back. It's about an hour and a half evening total. Me and my family will end up being the ride leaders. It's hosted by Granada Cyclery. But if you're trying to get your kids into riding single track, you're trying to get your wife or girlfriend into riding single track, and you want it to make a nice, easy, casual group experience, come on out. Tomorrow, we are still scheduled for ICC. I'm hopeful that St. Charles County will open it, that it's dry enough to ride. If not, we'll be going to the Kinetic Park to ride the pump track. Find the event in Facebook for the final update. Of course, I'll post it on our local groups and stuff too. But it's a fun event. I'm really happy that we've been getting the traction that we have with a lot of families. We had over 50 people out for our last ride. And I just think riding bikes as a kid and getting your kids in the woods, experiencing nature, seeing all that's been created for us to enjoy is super important. Bikes are the best way to do that.
All right. There you have it. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We're trying to get a little more regular with these, and I personally might have a little more motivation coming up here pretty soon. So we can't talk about it quite yet, but
Well, we still have a race recap. Me and Ryan both raced Miners Tough, and we still haven't done any race recap from that at all as well. So we're going to have to do a ICC Challenge recap and Miners recap at the same day, and then new bike day for both of us. We've got 2 over the next 2 weeks we're going to have to do.
All right.
Good.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for coming on too, Nathan.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nathan, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Anytime.
All
Be
right.
careful
Well,
today.
let's see if we can break the attendance record this year. Hopefully, we get a handful more out of people listening to this. See you, everybody.